Don't get stuck with a turkey this Christmas. Check out BBC Online's comprehensive movie guide at bbc.co.uk/films.
It's kid.
In Albania, Norman wisdom is so popular that he's been given the freedom of the capital. The Norman wisdom season begins Monday at 2 on BBC2.
On BBC1 now, just before our late film, the weekend weather prospects with Michael Fish.
If you're watching the skiing forecast yesterday evening, you'll probably recall that we said there hadn't been very much snow on the Alps and that conditions were exceptionally mild. Well, we've made up for that today. It's still fairly mild, but in the Alps we've seen a lot of snow. In fact, at Grand St Bernard it melted down to the equivalent of 41 millimetres. In other words, it gave about, well, in old money, getting on for a couple of feet of snow. And there's a lot more to come, I think, over the Alps. Some rain at lower levels and some snow at the higher levels. That's because across the eastern and central parts of Europe we have low pressure and weather systems, one moving away, another one coming in. Then it changes. Then we find high pressure coming along. And in fact, that area of high pressure may well develop a little bit further north up towards Scandinavia into next week. And the result of that is that it pulls in colder weather from Russia, and that begins to seep in towards the more central and southeastern parts of Europe. But not so at the moment. It's pretty mild just about everywhere, and many western and northern parts of Europe will continue to have some outbreaks of rain, showers even getting into the western Mediterranean. If you're off on holiday this weekend, the eastern Mediterranean not doing too badly, reasonably warm and sunny. Now back closer to home we have a little ridge of high pressure. We don't get those very often, but we've also got another front on the horizon, and that front is going to come in and bring with it some rain, sleet, or would you believe even some snow. The low pressure though in the next few days are going to hold back to the west of the British Isles, so although it remains rather unsettled, most of the rain I think is going to be in the more western areas. Again, you see that high developing around Scandinavia. But we do have that band, that weather front moving in from the west. It's bringing this rain, sleet and snow in across Ireland, and that's going to move itself across many other western and southern parts during the rest of tonight and through tomorrow before it eventually slips away into the continent. So let's pick it up at the moment, coming in here across Ireland, moving into other westernmost areas in the second part of the night. And I think we may well find that it turns to sleet or snow, more particularly over the hills. But for central and eastern areas, a very frosty night, and in fact there's going to be quite a lot of ice around on those untreated roads and pavements, one or two fog patches as well. The little area of low pressure slips away into the continent tomorrow, but not before it's brought a good deal of cloud to many western and southern areas, with outbreaks of rain and in places sleet and snow. That'll get lighter and more patchy as time goes on. We're also going to find brighter weather coming into the far west, all the while in East Anglia, North East England, Eastern Scotland, staying dry and bright with some spells of weak sunshine. Quite a cold day in most places, although turning a little bit milder in the far west later on. Now we get rid of the first of those little weather fronts, areas of low pressure, fizzling away, moving into the continent. Another ridge of high pressure for Sunday before another weather system moves in on Monday. So Sunday's going to start off with a lot of fog and frost, so it's quite slow to clear. Eventually it will, to give some weak sunshine. Then late in the day some more rain moving into Ireland, and then on Monday we're going to find some rain moving into many western areas, whereas the east for the most part stays fine and dry. That's all for now. A very good night to you.
Think about it. When it's time to relax, go to bed. When it's time to work, use your head. But now is the time to get stimulated, animated. Open your eyes to a new dimension. It's time to get on board, change the track, let them pull your strings, and then pull right back. Time for pre-packed, ready-to-go 21st century brain food. The time is 6, the place BBC2. You got a brain, so use it.
An accident waiting to happen now on BBC1, with more death-defying action than even evil anticipated. Viva Knievel.